Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Great to be here.
Today's Bytes are really all about making technology work for you. We're going to dive into the latest AI stuff, how to keep safe online, and even check out some cool new hardware choices.
Yeah, lots to cover. We're basically looking at how tech can be smarter, safer, and maybe even a bit friendlier.
Exactly. So let's kick things off with our first segment. Your AI co-pilot. Smarter, safer, and hopefully friendlier. Okay, AI is just moving so fast. Big news still swirling around GPT-5. When it first landed, reactions were, well, all over the place, weren't they?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, some people calling it a massive leap forward and others saying, disappointing model. It was quite the split.
So what was really going on there? Why the difference from, say, GPT-4o, which people seem to love?
Well, it's interesting because GPT-5 is different. It's reportedly faster, deeper, and more intuitive.
Right.
But compared to 4o, which was praised for being so conversational and handling images and audio, GPT-5 initially felt a bit more, maybe, analytical.
Analytical? How so?
Users found it was more likely to assume, overanalyze, or completely shift the tone. So, not quite the chatty partner 4o could be. The key, it seems, isn't just asking it things, but really understanding how it thinks and prompting accordingly. It's a subtle shift.
Ah, okay. So it's less about raw power and more about, learning its language, prompt engineering becoming even more important then.
Precisely. And that's where this idea of 7 powerful prompts came in ways to really tap into its strengths and get around those initial growing pains.
Right. Can you give us a couple of examples? Show us where it really shines if you ask the right way.
Sure. One big area is complex planning, scheduling, and workflow. GPT-5 is apparently great at deeper reasoning for realistic multivariable planning. So a prompt like, think step by step. Help me create a weekly schedule that balances work, family time, and exercise. Keep it realistic for a parent with young kids. It doesn't just list tasks. It actually thinks through the constraints, like a real assistant might.
Wow. Okay, that's genuinely useful. I could definitely use that. What about organization?
Yeah.
My Google Drive is a disaster zone. Can I actually help with something like that?
Yeah, it's surprisingly good there, too. Try giving it, organize my messy Google Drive into clear folders and subfolders. I'll paste a list of file names.
Seriously?
Yeah, it can recognize patterns in the file names, suggest file cleanup strategies like maybe archive old stuff, group by project. And the best part, it can output the structure in a ready-to-copy format.
No way. That would save me days.
It really can turn a massive chore into something pretty manageable.
Okay, sold. What about lifestyle stuff? Health, maybe?
Yep, there's that, too. A prompt like, turn my grocery list into a healthy meal plan for the week and rearrange it so the meals with fresh produce are earlier in the week. OpenAI did say they upgraded several aspects of ChatGPT with this model, including health and wellness. But, and this is really important, AI should never take the place of a human doctor. It's a tool, right? For planning, for ideas, not medical advice.
Absolutely crucial point. Always see a professional. Okay, so shifting gears slightly within GPT-5. Its personality, I heard the initial vibe was a bit stodgy and cold.
That was the feedback, yeah. People miss the warmer feel of GPT-4o, it seems. Yeah. So OpenAI is tweaking it, making it warmer and friendlier. Subtle things, like saying, good question.
Just subtle things.
Yeah, they specifically said not outright flattery or sycophancy. Keep it professional, Interestingly, there was some user speculation, just theories, mind you, that maybe the initial coldness was like a defensive move to avoid potential lawsuits if people developed psychosis or got too emotionally attached.
Wow. That's a heavy thought. The ethical tightrope these companies are walking is just incredible.
It really is. And it's not just OpenAI. Anthropic, the makers of Claude, they're tackling AI safety head-on, too, with a pretty bold new feature.
Claude. Right? What are they doing? You said it gets interesting here.
Yeah. So Claude now has a conversation-ending feature. It can basically decide to stop talking to you under certain circumstances.
Whoa, okay. Why? What's the thinking there?
Well, it comes from these broader concerns. Things like AI companions maybe being unsafe for teens under 18, or the potential for AI to reinforce delusional thinking, or users forming unhealthy emotional reliance. Anthropic seems to be taking that stuff very seriously.
It just cuts you off.
It's designed to end potentially harmful conversations, but only in rare extreme cases, they say, like persistently harmful or abusive interactions. They mentioned examples like sexual content involving minors, violence, and even acts of terror.
Okay, so really serious stuff.
Exactly. Apparently, their latest model, Claude Opus 4, showed a really robust and consistent aversion to harm in
Ooh.
testing. It even showed a pattern of apparent distress when users were asking for harmful things. It's
Yeah.
fascinating. Protecting the AI, too, in a way.
Stress. Wow. Okay, so what's the user experience? Does it just hang up?
Not quite. It tries to productively redirect the interactions first, multiple times apparently. Ending the chat is the last resort, and you can always start a new conversation.
Okay.
And crucially, it's instructed not to end the chat if a user seems like they might want to hurt themselves or cause imminent harm to others. In those cases, it actually connects with a crisis support provider called Throughline.
That's really important, a vital safety net.
Definitely. And they've also updated their usage policy, no using Claude to develop weapons or write malicious code or exploit networks. Serious guardrails.
Good. It's
Yeah.
reassuring to see that level of responsibility. Okay, sticking with helpful AI. Grammarly, lots of us use it. They've got new AI agents. What's that about?
Yeah, this is pretty neat, especially for students or professionals. They've launched these specialized AI tools. One standout is the AI grader agent.
AI grader, what does that even mean?
Grammarly claims it can actually predict an A paper. It looks at your draft, but also considers uploaded course details and publicly available information about the instructor.
Wait, it looks up the instructor.
Apparently so. To give tailored writing recommendations and an estimated grade, it's pretty ambitious.
That's next level stuff right there. Any other cool tools in this suite?
There's a reader reactions agent, predicts questions your readers might have. A citation finder agent that automatically formats citations. You know how tedious that can be.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, a plagiarism checker agent that scans huge databases. The AI grader and plagiarism tools are launching for pro users first, just so you know.
Interesting. Seems like AI is really embedding itself into the writing process now. Okay, let's shift gears. Segment 2, staying safe and connected in a tech-driven world. And we have to start with a pretty serious alert from the FBI. A dangerous news scam. Okay, let's unpack this.
Right. So you might have heard of brushing scams.
Vaguely. Isn't that where sellers send you stuff you didn't order to boost reviews?
Exactly. That's the traditional kind. Annoying, but usually harmless. This new version the FBI is warning about is way more insidious.
How so? What's the new twist?
Criminals are sending unsolicited packages, just like before. But inside, there's a QR code.
A QR code. Okay. So what happens if you scan it? That's the dangerous part, I assume.
That's the trap. Scanning it might take you to a site asking for personal and financial information, or worse, it could unwittingly download malicious software that steals data from their phone.
Steals data? Like what?
Think credit card numbers, credentials for bank accounts, securities trading accounts, and crypto accounts. Basically, the keys to your financial kingdom. And they often leave off the return address to make you curious enough to scan it.
That's sneaky. Okay, so what's the FBI advice? How do we avoid this?
Key tips. First, beware of unsolicited packages containing merchandise you did not order, especially if there's no sender info. Second, and most importantly, do not scan QR codes from unknown origins. Just don't do it.
Simple but effective. Don't scan random codes.
Right. And if you think you might have scanned one, change your passwords, check your accounts, maybe request a credit report. Better safe than sorry.
Definitely. A really important warning. Okay, on a more positive security note, Microsoft Teams is getting some upgrades.
Yes, some welcome ones coming in September. Teams will start blocking messages with malicious files like .exe files, things you really shouldn't be getting in a chat. And it'll provide protection from malicious links. It'll detect them and warn you before you click, which is huge because Teams is a major target for hackers using phishing, even voice phishing, pretending to be contacts.
Yeah, those imposter scams are nasty, so that's a good step for Teams users.
Now, the holy grail for some. Messaging between iPhones and Androids. Any progress on making that more secure? Are the green bubbles finally getting encrypted?
It looks like it might actually be happening. End-to-end encryption, E2EE, for RCS messages on iPhones might be arriving sooner than expected.
Really? What's the evidence?
Code related to it has apparently been spotted in early iOS 26 betas, so Apple seems to be working on it.
Okay, remind us what E2E actually means for messages.
Sure. It means the message gets scrambled on your device before it's sent across the network. Then the only place it can be unscrambled is on the recipient's device. So theoretically, no one in the middle, not even Apple or Google, can read your messages. They stay private. That's huge. That really closes one of the biggest gaps between iOS and Android messaging. So the green bubbles aren't going anywhere visually.
Nope. Seems like the color stays.
But they might finally be secure underneath. That's fantastic news for privacy. All right, one more iOS 26 tidbit, much lighter this time. The snooze button.
Ah, yes, the classic 9-minute snooze debate.
Exactly. Is it still locked at 9 minutes?
Not anymore. iOS 26 lets you set the snooze length between 1 and 15 minutes, finally.
Yes. Okay, is it a universal setting?
Ah, here's the catch. It's on a per-alarm basis. So you have to go into each alarm you set and choose your preferred snooze length. It's not one setting for all alarms.
Okay, a bit fiddly, but still. Choice. I'll take it. No more complaining about 9 minutes.
You're the master of your snooze now.
All right, final segment. The gadgets that drive us and our screens. Let's talk cars first. The 2026 Genesis GV70 SUV. Interesting review here, especially comparing the gas and electric versions. What's the story?
Well, what's surprising, especially in the luxury space, is how close the prices are for the top trims. The gas 3.5-key Sport Prestige AWD is listed at $72,225. The all-electric version, $75,350.
Huh. Only about $3,000 difference. For gas versus EV, that's not much at that price point.
Exactly. It's a much smaller gap than you often see, which makes the choice really interesting.
So what's the bottom line for a buyer then? Especially thinking long-term costs.
Right, that's where the EV pulls ahead. Filling the gas tank costs around $67 for roughly 432 miles, assuming premium gas prices. Charging the electric version's battery costs about $18.48 for its 243 miles of range, based on average electricity costs.
Okay, so the range is less on the EV per fill, but the cost per mile is way lower.
Way lower. The analysis concluded that you'll be paying way more with the all-gas version, especially in the long run. Those fuel savings add up significantly over time.
Makes sense. And aside from running costs, what about the luxury side? What makes it feel premium?
Oh, it definitely delivers there. It's got this gorgeous 27-inch OLED display, one seamless panel across the dash. Really stunning.
Wow.
Plus Napa leather seats, ergo seats that massage, great Bang & Olufsen speakers, and apparently the soundproofing is incredible. Very quiet cabin.
Sounds plush. So the takeaway is both are premium, but the EV might actually save you money over time.
That's the surprising conclusion, yeah. Despite the slightly higher sticker price, the EV could save you more in the long run. Makes it a really compelling option in that segment.
Interesting stuff. Okay, last topic. TVs. Moving from the car screen to the living room screen. LCD, OLED, QLED, mini LED. It gets confusing. When picking a new TV, what really matters these days?
It does get confusing with all the marketing terms. But fundamentally, you're dealing with two main technologies, LCD and OLED. Now, LCD gets marketed as LED, QLED, mini LED.
Yeah.
Those are basically different ways of lighting the LCD panel. OLED includes things like Q2OL and WOLD.
Right, so what's the core difference?
The absolute key difference is how they make light. With OLED, each pixel provides its own illumination. It can turn completely on or completely off, individually.
Okay.
This means OLED can achieve truly perfect black because the pixel is just off, no light. This gives it an incredible contrast ratio, the difference between the brightest white and the darkest black. And contrast, honestly, is probably the most important aspect of picture quality, more than just resolution sometimes.
Perfect black. Okay, I get that. So what are the advantages of LCD then, given it still dominates the market?
LCD's main strengths are usually light output, meaning brightness. Especially the newer mini LED LCDs, they can get incredibly bright, which is great for well-lit rooms. They also tend to come in at a lower price generally, and you often find a wider range of screen sizes, especially bigger ones.
Brightness and price. Got it. What about that burn-in thing people worry about with OLED?
Yeah, burn-in, where a static image gets permanently stuck on the screen. It's technically easier with OLED because the organic pixels can degrade unevenly if you blast, say, a news channel logo for hours and hours every single day.
But is it a real-world problem for most people?
Honestly, for most viewers, probably not. Modern OLEDs have features to prevent it, and unless you're watching the same static content constantly at max brightness, most people don't have to worry about burn-in. Plus, cheaper LCDs can sometimes have their own issues like image persistence, which is temporary burn-in.
Okay, so it's less of a worry than it used to be. So, summing it up, LCD is popular because it's generally cheaper and brighter.
Right. LCD dominates the market because it's cheap to manufacture and delivers good enough picture quality for just about everybody.
But for the absolute best picture, especially with those deep blacks and amazing contrast,
OLED wins for overall picture quality. No question if that's your top priority and budget allows.
Excellent breakdown. Really helps clear things up. So what new tech development has caught your eye, or what practical tip will you be implementing first? Keep those questions and insights coming.
Always something new to learn.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.